All the very best to you today, my friends. My Bible is open to John chapter 15. John chapter 15 gives us a wonderful analogy. How Christ creates peace as we stay attached to Him. If you have time to look at that, it'll take about 8 minutes. If you don't, I sure get it. Let us know how to pray for you before you slip out. Really, the theme of peace is the theme of the Gospel of John, and it's the theme of this book we've been working through. You are never alone. And God's desire is not that you lead a life of anxiety and trepidation, and He talks often about how He brings peace into our hearts. And if you could use some peace, you're in the right place. Better said, John 15 is the right place. In this passage, Jesus says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. Now, the allegory is simple. God is like a vine keeper. He lives and He loves to coax the best out of His vines. He pampers, He prunes, He blesses, He cuts. His aim is singular. What can I do today to prompt produce? And God is a capable orchardist who carefully superintends the vineyard. And Jesus plays the role of the vine. Now, we non-gardeners, that would include me, might confuse the vine and the branch. To see the vine, lower your gaze from the stringy, windy branches to those thick base below. The vine is the root and the trunk of the plant, and it cables nutrients from soil to the branches. So Jesus makes this stunning claim. He says, I am the real root of life. If anything good comes into our world, anything good comes into our lives, He is the conduit. He is the conduit. And who are we? Well, we are the branches. We bear fruit like love and joy and peace, patience and kindness and goodness and faithfulness. Who doesn't want more of that fruit in our lives? As we cling to Christ, God is honored. Jesus said, my Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. That's in verse 8 of John chapter 15. But how do you bear this fruit? How do you bear this fruit? Do you try harder? No. You hang tighter. Listen, please. Our assignment is not fruitfulness, but faithfulness. The secret to fruit bearing and anxiety-free living is really less about doing and more about abiding. Unless we miss this point, Jesus employed the word abide 10 times in 7 verses. Let me see if I can sketch them out for you. I'm reading over several verses. Jesus said, abide in me as I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine, so neither can you unless you abide in me. Skipping down. He who abides in me and I in him bears much fruit. Skipping down. If anyone does not abide in me, he's thrown away as a branch and dries up. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be given unto you. Skipping down a little bit further. Abide in my love. Skipping down another verse. Abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments. And abide in His love. Now, that's just samplings from John 15, 4 through 10. But the big idea is that abide is a big word. To abide is to live somewhere. Come and live in me, Jesus is saying. Make my home your home. Make my home your home. Now, odds are you know what it means to abide. You know what it means to be at home somewhere. You know, to be at home is to feel safe. To be at home is to be familiar. Our aim, our only aim, is to be so home in Christ that we feel familiar with Him. He's not a roadside park. He's not a hotel room. He's our permanent mailing address. Yes, Christ is our home. He's our place of refuge. He's our place of security. We're comfortable in His presence. We're free to be our authentic selves. We don't have to put on airs. We know our way around in Him. We know His heart. We know His ways. We rest in Him. We find our nourishment in Him. His roof of grace protects us from storms of guilt. His walls of providence secure us from destructive winds and threats. His fireplace of love warms us during the lonely, lonely winters of life. We abide in Him. We linger in the abode of Christ, and we never leave. The branch never leaves, right? The branch never releases the vine. Does the branch do that? No. Does the branch show up only on Sundays for its once-a-week meal? No. Well, at the risk of death, right? The healthy branch never releases the vine. To do so would interrupt the flow of essential nutrients. The dominant duty of the disciple is simply the same. Never let go of Jesus. Never release the vine. Now we Christians, especially we pastors, tend to miss this. We banter about calls to change the world, that we're here to make a difference for Christ, to lead people to the Lord. Yet, folks, these are byproducts of the Christ-focused life. Our goal is to be faithful. We don't force fruit. Our goal is to stay attached, just to hold on. You know, when a father leads a 4-year-old son down a crowded street, he takes him by the hand and he just says, "Hold on to me. Hold on. Don't let go. I got you. Hold on to me." He doesn't say memorize the map. He doesn't say take your chances dodging the traffic. He doesn't say, let's see if you can find your way home on your own. A good father doesn't do that. The good father gives the child one responsibility: hold on to my hand. God does the same. He does the same with us. Friend, don't load yourself down with lists of things to do and things to change. Don't enhance your anxiety with fear of not fulfilling them. Your goal is just to hold on to Christ. You don't have to know every detail of the future. Your goal is just to hold the hand of the Father, because He does, and never let go. And my friend, God is with you. He's not letting you go. You are never, ever alone. He's closer than you can ever imagine. You're never without hope, my friend, because you're never without Christ. All the very best.